Hello and welcome to another video. Many of you now have probably downloaded the new Tesla Christmas update with the version 11 of the software and the song and dance light show. This is just a quick run through of the new interface, and hopefully we'll explain just where a few of the buttons have gone. So this is the new version 11 software interface, and this is a grumpy old man with an EV. Okay, so here we have the release notes of 2021.44.25.2, which incorporates version 11 of the software and of course the little Christmas extras. So the first one on here is light show, and you've probably seen plenty of videos of the car singing and dancing. I've even got one out that I put out when I got this, which was a couple of days before Christmas. I was one of the first, I think, in Australia to get it. So the next thing is a customizable app launcher, which is the ones along here. You can set these up. Unfortunately, you've only got room for 4 or 5, and there's room for a few more, I reckon. Supposedly simplified controls. So if you think Elon's theory is the best part is no part, well, he's taken that one step further and gone the best button is no button. So he simplified a lot of the controls. You've got blind spot camera, so when you indicate, it comes up here. Unfortunately, it's not in the right spot. Certainly for right hand drive vehicles, if you put the indicator on, your hand actually blocks the visible bit of it. If you're driving at 9 and 3 in a normal position, you block off half of it. So I would like to see that able to be moved into a better position for each driver. You can now edit waypoints. So before the last release, we just had one place to go. Then we got waypoints, so you can put in a number of waypoints, but there was no way to reorder them without deleting it all and starting again. Now you can, just by setting up your waypoint, clicking and dragging it up and down. New game, Sonic the Hedgehog. Game's not particularly interesting to me in the car, but obviously some kids and so on do like it. Battle of Polytopia. He's now got multiplayer support and some improvements. Sudoku, I quite like Sudoku. Yeah, cold weather improvements here in Western Australia. As you see there, it's currently 35 degrees, which is about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, we don't really need much in the way of cold weather improvements because it very rarely gets anywhere near freezing here in Western Australia. Automatic seat heaters. So some people go, oh, there's no heated seat button. It's now automatic, so when it detects it's cold and the aircon's heating the place up, it can put those on automatically. The dash cam improvements, you can easily delete some of the clips. We'll go through that. You've got dark mode for the user interface, and hiding map details is that little button there. We'll show you that in a little while. So to get rid of these screens now, there's only a few have got an X, which we used to have to close. Now it's swipe down. So we've got very little on the front here. I've set this up. I've got the reversing camera because when I drive into my driveway, into my garage, I want to drive in far enough so that the garage door doesn't come down and plonk onto the boot. So that's why I've got that there. I've got phone, Bluetooth, so that you can select connect phone. My phone's not connected at the moment because I haven't turned the car on. The radio, because I have the radio, and then that's the home theatre, arcade toolbox, browser, all the entertainment things in there. You can adjust these by clicking on, finding the one that you want, and clicking and dragging down there. So if you're a big Spotify user, click, hold, and move down there. So what you've got here is, click on that to close it. This side, if you look, it says my apps and then recent apps. So you can only have 4 of your apps, and then whichever one you've used recently. So if you have a look at get out of that, energy, that's now the most recent app. So there it is. So the recent app, so you can easily go back to it if you wanted. Yeah, well, it's there. So most of the controls are now on the controls, the car, and it's right by the driver. In left-hand drive vehicles, it's over on the other side. So we've got what used to be quick controls, and then if you remember along the top we used to have home link for those that had it, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Well, here they are. So you can hit that and it brings them up. Once again, you've got the lights, which I've got set to auto. I've got the window locks on, turn them off. Child locks means the back doors are locked and you've got to open them from the outside. Windscreen wipers, I've got those set on auto. So you can go into there to turn them on, or if you just tap the windscreen wiper button, you've got it up here and it's right where you can control it fairly easily. Home link, if you've got it installed, that's what comes up there. Alright, recording. So you're driving along, some idiot pulls out in front but doesn't cause you enough distress to sit on the horn, which if you've got that set will save the video. It's just there, and it's saving the recording, and it goes back to normal recording. Steering wheel adjustment, Sentry mode on and off. It's off at the moment because I'm at home and I have it set like that. Right, so as you see, slide it down. Pedals and steering is a renamed menu button. You've got your acceleration, steering, regenerative braking, stopping mode. That's all fairly the same. Charging, so you can take this up to whatever you like, unlock the charge port, set the current charge rate, all the same as before. And rather than go in here and then go to charging, if you want to get it quickly, hit the battery and you're there. And the other thing I've noticed here, you've got schedule or start at 11 o'clock or whatever. It used to be down the bottom here in very small writing. So personally, I think that that is a slight improvement because it's now bigger and you can see it more easily. Autopilot, for those of you that don't have full self-driving, this will be slightly different, but all those usual things are here. This is a new one, the automatic blind spot camera. That's what I was talking about earlier. If you hit the indicator, it comes up with for left and right. You can turn it on and off in there. Okay, so that's under autopilot, and this is all the same as it was before. Locks, same as it was before. It's just that they've changed the font slightly. Lights, this is, I've just got everything set to auto except for high beam, because I've never come across a car, and I had BMWs before, where it would change quick enough without the oncoming driver or the driver you were following getting a bit pissed off with you. Display, you can have dark mode, which some people prefer, and you can leave it in dark mode or auto, so it changes according to the time of day and the ambient light outside. This is all about the same. People are going, oh, where's my tyre pressures? We'll come to that in a minute. You've got the trip meters. It used to be the slide across from left to right here would bring you up your trip meters. Slide across right to left would get you the tyre pressures when you're driving. Whilst you're not driving, it will not come up with anything. So these are your standard trip meters, which you can reset and so on. Navigation, I've always got that turned off. Little naggy Nell is gets on my nerves. I know where I'm going 90% of the time, and if I do use that, I'm watching the screen. Safety, that's all about the same. You can delete the dash cam clips, and you can format your USB drive. Obviously that deletes everything, so think about it before you do it. Alright, service. This is where your tyre pressures will now be. So to get your tyre pressures, there, service, and they're here. One there, one there, one there, one there, corresponding to the wheels. Nothing showing at the moment because I'm parked in my garage. And this is all about the same as before. And then software, which we looked at the beginning. So get rid of it, down there, press on that, and you've got the common things. So just a quick little couple of things. Where did my tyre pressure go? Service. What about superchargers? You used to be able to have a button here that have got superchargers. So this one here is the one that turns on and off. All right, so let's zoom in to somewhere here. All right, click on that and you start to get all the labels. So if we go right into Perth here, come on, hurry up. You've got items and nothing. Okay, so I prefer that on myself. And then people go, well, hold on, there used to be a button here to get it facing north or whatever. That's over here now. All right, so that's it there. Now, where do I find my superchargers? Charging. All right, you can have your slow. So I've got my local charger is at the Stockland Shopping Centre. There's one in Rockingham, Riverton, and so on. So these are all the Type 2 destination chargers, and then superchargers. We've got 3 in WA. Woohoo! Supercharger Perth North, supercharger at Eton, and supercharger at Williams, and you can see how far away they are. So that's where you get the superchargers. You can also, if you want to, let's say, navigate to there, and then We want to add a stop. Okay, we'll go to that one. All right, add a stop. Supercharger Perth North. Okay, oh no, I don't need to do that until I've finished all the other things. There we go. You just click and drag and it rearranges everything for you. Done. Cancel. Okay, so that's where your list of superchargers are. As I said, charging status, just hit that and you'll get your charging status up. So that's just a quick overview of version 11. It is all slightly different. Some of them do require 2 buttons to press, 1, 2, 3 to get rid of it. But how often do you actually do that? I've heard people complain, oh, I've got to press the button 3 times to do something. But then you've got to ask yourself, how often do you actually do it? Not all that often. So the common things are available easily and they're all available here. Alright, as I showed you before, you've got windscreen wipers. If you push the button down, you can get your light settings and off. Nice and easy. Climate control, as you can see, it's down here, so the driver can control his side quite nicely. You can then split it, so if the passenger wants it slightly different, you can have it. You can have it slightly different, or you put it back to the same. We have it about 22 to 22, and so I'm just sliding this up and down. Once again, you've got everything on auto. You can put it into keep, so that keeps the come back here. That keeps the air conditioning mode enabled while you're out of the car, which here in WA, when the temperature is 35 degrees, which is about 95 Fahrenheit, give or take a bit, you can leave that on. I did that this morning, so when I went to out to the shops, parked the car, it was in the sun, I just left that on. When I got back, the car was still nice and cold. And then you've got dog mode and camp mode the same. This is where you can have the auto heated seats. I have never in 2 years used the heated seat in this country, but you can turn it on manually if you want, or you put it on auto. The other thing you've got here is rear. Now if you've got rear heated seats paid for, which is a few $100s, you can control them there. I don't have them. We don't need heated seats in Australia most of the time, so I just can't see the point in that for me. You can turn the fan on at the rear, but most of the time this is the bit that you're going to do. You can control the fan, so if I turn it right up, you'll hear, and turn it down, or put it onto auto and it will adjust it itself according to the temperatures that you've set. You can schedule it to the car will charge off peak hours and precondition the car by whatever time you want to leave. So on cold days you can warm the car up, and that is quite nice. But we don't get too many cold days in Australia where I live, which is around Perth. So that's the aircon. Touch, front windscreen defrost or defog, rear windscreen defog or defrost. We don't get that very much here again. So that's the air conditioning. You've got your radio. Now, where's your Spotify and so on? There. So you can play off Bluetooth, off Spotify, karaoke, tune in and Tidal. If you've got a USB stick plugged in with music, that's where it is. And it will come up down the bottom here. So if you're on Spotify, I haven't got Spotify. I just usually listen to the radio, or I plug in a USB stick, and occasionally I play off the Bluetooth from my phone, but otherwise I just have it on the radio. So there we are. You can do a search, and this one is your audio settings, so you can control your bass and treble. You can set the immersive sound. I've got it set to auto. I set everything to auto. You can set the balance point in the car. Obviously that's probably the right sort of place to have the balance point. I'm not an audiophile, so I wouldn't know if having it there is better for the two people in the driver's seat if you've got no passengers. So explicit content affects Tidal. I don't do Tidal, so I presume that means that you can cut out naughty stuff and allow mobile control. I tend not to worry with that. I just have the radio on, but everybody's to their own. So that's about it for the interface. Yes, it is different. Yes, it may require a couple of things getting used to. The one thing that I'm not keen on has been the blind spot camera. Now I know it's a good idea, but where it's been put I don't think is a good idea. I can't put it in gear because I've still got the charger cable attached. It's just finished charging. But when it's charging, you have up here the information. Alright, so whilst I'm sitting in the car, although charging is completed, it's still sucking some power off my solar panels to keep the aircon running and so on. And it gives you the amps and the volts and so on. Hitting that, you come across and you can set various levels here, but this is the readout of what's actually happening. So there you are, quick overview. I quite like it. I think it's a cleaner interface. It does require a bit of getting used to. So, you know, tyre pressures there, service, they'll be there. Used to be just a scroll across. But then you ask yourself, well, how often did I do that? Rarely. If I got the flat tyre icon come up, I would do it, but otherwise very rarely. So the trips, which used to be the other way, is there. Bring that up. Trips. Easy. So that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you found it useful. If you've got any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Thanks very much.